Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a pilot of a brand new show I'm launching. Before I tell you the title of it, let me tell you, great ideas don't come from the vacuum, from the void. It's a great myth, you know. Artists like myself. That sounds so pretentious. Artists. We steal. Great artists steal, guys. But unlike what Kevin David thinks, you don't steal from one thing. You take from a variety of sources. So let me explain my inspiration for the show before we get into the first episode. Inspiration number one, sociopaths.
They're sitting out there waiting to give you their money. Are you going to take it?
Are you mad?
Are you man enough to take it?
That's one of my favorite scenes of all time. Second, comedians in cars getting coffee.
I'm Jerry Seinfeld,
I'll explain.
And this is Comedians in Cars
Getting coffee, right? It's catchy. You got to admit, for such a long title, it's pretty catchy. So I thought, I was cooking up in the brain. You know, I was looking around like, is anyone going to see? Has anyone stolen this idea already? Look, new show instituted right now. Sociopaths on stage selling Ponzi's. Kind of got a ring to it, don't you think? And look, guys, maybe it's a pilot. Maybe we kick it off as a series. Maybe Netflix buys it. I don't know. Pump the stock. That's all. Look, are we worried about fundamentals here, or are we pumping the stock? What are we doing here? Now, this is our boy today. This is sociopath number one. Now, guys, I'm not a clinical psychologist, sociologist. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on the internet. I do jokingly give my opinion on people, okay? You're about to get sold on a pretty amazing idea. Imagine. Let me paint the picture for you. Free money. Easy money. Guaranteed money. Can't lose, can't miss money. All with the power of imagination. Actually, sorry. The internet. The internet. With the power of the internet, Ken and his wife, Carrie Courtwright, want to buy you or build you a profit-generating website that can make you up to 20% of your money every year like clockwork.
I've done guarantees in a contract which goes in perpetuity from as low as 11%. I've even done one as high as, I think, 23, 24%.
Oh, wow.
And that's not if it's successful. That's guaranteed. And in fact, they said that if they don't meet their side of the bargain, they will literally remake the store for you.
So when crap happens, we enact what's called the Act of God clause, which is in the contract of our arrangement. And it simply says, it does not matter the reason that this site is failing, it is failing. So we're just going to set it aside and build or buy a new one. And so in 18 times, we have put up brand new sites at our dime, and away they go.
Do a minimum monthly guarantee of X amount so that it's comfortable for them to deal in a territory typically unknown, which is websites making money.
Personal minimum guarantees. Yikes. Guys, nothing in life is for sure except for death and taxes. Well, actually, taxes, some people have figured out a way out of that. Like Logan Paul going to Puerto Rico. But anyways, if you sign up now, Ken and Carrie Courtwright will not only give you a guaranteed return, they'll actually raise it by a few percent if you sign up right now.
You'll work with Bill. He'll add 1 to 2% onto the guaranteed minimum return that you receive each month. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, guys. Guaranteed, no risk.
Which is pretty cool.
Monthly revenue commitments go with all sites. They might be as low as 7%. They might be high as, in some cases, depending on the platform and what we're building, you might get into the mid, sometimes even the upper teens.
Yeah, guys, that means you put in $100K. Let me translate this. They will give you up to 7 to 20% return. Are you hearing this? There is no such thing as a free lunch. But as you know, in life, if you promise things, people will believe you. And as such, Ken and Carrie Courtwright have managed to persuade about $75 million away from investors. They say they're so professional. Don't they look trustworthy, guys? They just look like a couple of class acts. They wouldn't lie to you. He looks like a little Boy Scout leader or something like that. He looks like he could be your state senator. What, are you not going to trust this guy? Well, as you've already seen, this pitch is pretty slick. But sociopaths or people doing bad things, they have cracks appear in their speech. See if you can spot them.
In order to eventually retire, you need to have a pile of money.
You see that? Ken, he's a bit obsessed with how he looks on stage, and he really doesn't like his wife, who seems to not be as good on stage as Ken. And so during this speech, he's constantly monitoring her, controlling her, and it's kind of weird.
Everybody knows in order to
So, of course, he does it once.
All right. So,
this is actually one of my favorite because, well, it's my opportunity to brag a little bit.
a little higher.
Okay, my opportunity to brag.
And then again. And then again.
Nuts when your friend, coworker, or neighbor who's not, I understand, who's not half as sure.
Honey, you've got to make sure the mic is close to your mouth while we pitch this Ponzi scheme. Listen, when you say guaranteed returns, you got to put the mic close to your mouth. She's like, I understand, you psychopath. You put me up to that. All good things must come to an end. And the SEC brought the hammer down. These two have been accused of operating a Ponzi-like scheme under the name of the Income Store in exchange for an investor's upfront fee. They claimed they'd be able to build this website, and of course they were not. In fact, they were funding their lifestyle with the returns from investors and with the money from investors. According to some estimates, over half of the money will never be returned to the investors, which is extremely sad because it was over $75 million. At the same time, guys, let this be a lesson to everyone. These psychopaths will always be out here dressed in new clothes, right? Have you ever heard the expression wolf in sheep's clothing? That's the feeling I get. My skin crawls. It's like they portray this image of, oh, we're just family loving people, right? In reality, they're greedy. They stole old people's money. I mean, they stole everybody's money. And it's absolutely disgusting the way they stand up there portraying themselves to be the good guys. They're the heroes, right? That want to help you. I mean, I really want you guys to pay attention to how these two talk. They talk like they've descended out of heaven above to help you out. It's unbelievable.
So, guys, with that, can you just give the listeners a little bit more about your background and what got you to where you are today?
Yeah, so we actually started about 30 years ago. Came out of college, we met in college, and we just had a crazy idea that we could walk into business owners and tell them that we could grow their business and they should pay us. That didn't go too well the first year, but over time, through a few testimonials, we did talk a few people into letting us attempt to grow their business, and turned out we were successful. So, but in 2009, something happened, and that was where we came face to face with the fact that the internet is real. It's not a fad, it's here to stay. And we think it should be the centerpiece of growth for most companies moving forward. So we changed our growth consulting model and made a statement that we will only grow a business or a household by adding a money-making website to them. So it allowed for a second, third, fourth, some even have a seventh, eighth, ninth revenue stream on top of their main revenue stream. And so we either build them or buy them a website that makes money, and then our 200 employees manage it for them for a share of the revenues.
Incredible. Because in actuality, none of that was happening. I mean, I know for a fact that they did try to buy some websites, and they were not successful. They were not making the returns they said they were making. And they instead were living out this nice life of sending their kids to private schools, buying expensive houses, all so they could just tell everybody, we're living the life. We can help you too. And it was all a complete lie. So what can we learn from all this? Well, true passive income, which is the holy grail of what most people think they need, is actually very hard to come by, and you should be immediately suspicious of anyone who promises you any kind of guaranteed returns in perpetuity. It doesn't exist, folks. It's like the perpetual energy machine. It's been promised year after year after year, decade after decade, as long as mankind has been around, and it's always been a farce.
I've done guarantees in a contract, which goes in perpetuity from as low as 11%. I've even done one as high as, I think, 23, 24%.
Oh, wow.
Listen to that. That is the most psychopathic thing you could say. Either that guy is the dumbest person on the planet, or he is negligent to a level that is unbelievable. And he does face these charges from the SEC at this point, and it looks like he will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and I think he deserves it. But remember, when you look at these guys on stage, they don't look like con men, unless you think this type of couple looks like con men. Maybe they do to you, but to most people, they look like your typical middle of the income road Joes that just want to help you out. They're well-dressed professionals who are stealing your money right under your nose. So I'm glad it looks like the Income Store is shut down for good. And I can only hope that people stop falling for these things. Let this be a lesson, guys. That's why I do the scammer history, is so that you can watch these and not get scammed in the future, because these have been happening forever. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you took something away. Don't fall for the perpetual money machine. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
I know what you mean. This ain't what it seemed. Nothing but a trick, trying to sell me on a dream, but that was where you lost me. Wake up and smell the coffee.